Okay, so it's the 9th of May and we're looking at the daily time frame on Euro US dollar. Starting out over here, we can see a large liquidity wick, which will mark up as a zone. And I don't see much else except bearish structure and a bit of a range on the daily. Now we can drop down to the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, it seems that we are still in a position where sellers are in control, as we can see that this zone of supply has been mitigated and it hasn't been broken yet. So the next point of supply I'm looking at is over here. And dropping down to the 15 minute. In fact, staying on the 4 hour for a second, we can see that liquidity has been grabbed to the upside as a sweep. So potentially we could see in fact we have seen liquidity grab to the downside with this wick over here. So market could move either way at this stage. Head over to the 15 minute. Now let's see exactly what we're looking at. I can see a very nice change of character here, followed by a clean break of structure. However, this could also be a liquidity grab due to the fact that this area is so full of equal lows, equal highs, and you also have this area of liquidity which was grabbed. So I'm going to keep that as a break of structure. And I can see we're at this pullback, potential pullback zone, where we could see a dip into here before a push off. Another thing I can see is over here, potentially with this wick formed in an area of supply which we could look to mitigate. The reason being is the chain structure of it. So as we can see, we have this inside bar that was mitigated by this candle, this pair of candles, but nothing has mitigated that yet, so we could be looking to mitigate that soon. Also, we do have another change of character, break of structure here, and we do have a supply to demand flip over here. As we can see, there's supply, we've broken through supply to form demand, we broke structure in many respects. So we could be looking for short-term buys, but I would ideally be looking for sells off of that area. Now let's look on the 1 minute. We could potentially be trading right now. As you can see, we're in the zone, but right now we are looking for sells because this 15-minute zone is a 15-minute zone, so we do want to be looking for that 15-minute mitigation of the zone. So let's look for potential sells. I'm going to head over to my MetaTrader to keep it open just in case, and we're gonna look for sell areas. So I can see that we've formed this area, been mitigated there. We formed this area which broke structure, we've been mitigated. Now we're kind of in a position where we have liquidity over here. We had liquidity over here which has been grabbed clearly. So I'd want to see a break of this low and a break of this low, because potentially this could act as a pivot point for a grab to the bullish upside to essentially retest this area. So we could be looking at some sort of move like this. However, it is speculation, so we do need to wait and see. So let's hold on for a minute just to see what price does. As we can see, we have caused a liquidity sweep over here, and it's quite clear. So what I'm going to be looking to do is potentially look for buys if I see a range over here. The stop will be 2.5 pips and the target will be this area of supply. So we won't have entered yet. We do want to see a bit of a range form over here and then one more grab to the downside. But this could have acted as our range and the move might happen now. But we're not scared of missing trades, as we know that overall there will be more opportunities in the market, especially on an early Monday morning like this. As you can see, price is stalling there. That usually means there'll be quite a large move to the upside or large move to the downside. On our RSI, we're not looking at any divergence, so I wouldn't have been in this trade yet. Again, looking for that range to form. The longer price holds in this area, the more inclined I'd be to enter, as it could be forming a range on a lower time frame potentially. It does look like a clean trade, however, we have not got that break of structures to the upside yet. So there would be no confirmations for this trade, and of course we do look for those confirmations before entering. Do you want to see a break of this supply? Again, we're still playing off supply over here. We haven't seen any breaks of supply, so sellers are still in control of the market. So again, still wouldn't have entered into this trade. You do need to wait for confirmations before you enter into trades. Otherwise, you could just be leading to losing all your trades, because the confirmations are what tells us that it's a good trade or a bad trade. I'm still going to wait upon that break of supply for price to come back down to the nearest demand zone, and then we'd look for essentially a clean entry on the 1 minute time frame. And as you can see, it is a decent risk to reward of 3.92, so we could start to see that break of structure here. Again, not in this trade yet, so don't feel inclined to enter any trades yet. It is early on Monday morning. I feel like there's liquidity within this wick personally. So what I am looking for is a break of the wick, tap into the 50% mitigation zone of the 15-minute demand, cause a lower time frame 1 minute break of structure, retest, move off, and that would be our entry off the retest, and we'd move up to this area, and it'd also give us a tighter trade potentially, because we could essentially be looking at targeting right up there. I don't usually look at the 1 hour, but I do sometimes just to see where breaks of structure could be. And back to 15-minute. Now, we do tend to look for 3 pushes before looking at trades. So that's 1 push. This could be our 2nd push, and our 3rd push could be coming up over here someplace. And then a move up, breaking structure. Then that could potentially be what we're looking for to trade this area. On the other hand, we could be looking at this area as a supply zone that caused this break of structure, moved down, caused that range, retested, moved off, and if we break structure here, that could be our new supply zone over here. So we do need to be careful at this point. However, at this point in time, I'm more inclined to follow my selling bias because of higher time frame bearish movement, and there's no expectation for the US dollar to essentially keep moving down, or keep moving up rather, but start to move down. We could just see it continue move up, and that would mean Euro US dollar would continue to move down. So I do feel inclined to follow my bias, as it has worked consistently in the market. And again, looking here, we've had clean liquidity sweeps. So we are retesting. However, we have now formed a bit of liquidity. Like I said, the potential entry was off of here at around 50. Stop loss 2.5 pips. Would have come pretty close. And our area would be targeting would be around there. So we would be around 0.5% or 0.5 R rather in profit. So again, this is kind of what I'm looking at. Follow it on the 15-minute. Got an area of supply there. Got a huge area of demand. Could be looking for longs from this area to fill this area. Could be looking for shorts to continue the trend and break this low and target this low. But essentially, that's what we're looking for. But I do think supply is still in control due to this sort of area being mitigated off of. Unless I see some significant breaks of structure to the upside over here, I wouldn't be looking to take any longer term buys. Right now we'd be running plus 1%, so we could potentially see that break of structure, and then, only then, I'd potentially be looking to enter off of here. And my actual trade would look like this. So it would be an entry off of 55. Stop loss 2.5 pips. Target potentially this area, but probably the top of it. 4.4 for risk to reward. However, look, this is why I didn't enter, because this is a clean supply zone. We've rejected off of the supply zone, formed new supply over here, and now we're rejecting off of that. So supply is still in control. That's the main message of today's live stream. Do you have any questions? No questions? Okay. So, yep, so this is kind of what I'm looking at. Follow it on the 15-minute. Look for those breaks of structure. Look for that 50% mitigation, then the breaks of structure, changes of character. Confirmations is key, and enter based upon those. And you should see some nice trades today in the market. The market is looking a lot cleaner after this breakout, and this bit of a range, and then kind of like a step down. Now we're looking to come back there and potentially move off should we see those breaks of structure. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Oh, we have a question. Oh, no, thank you. Okay, catch you in the next one.